Welcome to the 2023 REP4 National Convening. We're excited you've joined us as we showcase the work of high school student designers who, with the support of college ambassadors and REP4 leaders, are reshaping public education. Your presence helps guide the REP4 journey, so let's dive in and welcome to REP4.
I feel like us, making a statement now can really change the future.
Our generation can really make a difference in all of this.
I feel like we've actually made something that can be possible and change our community.
Community is at the forefront of their education.
It feels nice to know that my opinion matters on something that could impact the campus in a good way.
I've learned that it does help grow your own skill sets, and then in that process you get to grow as a human.
It kind of feels like I reached a new level in the video game, a new level in my life.
You do your best to thrive, and given that opportunity to thrive, you really can do well.
It just gives us encouragement to better speak our voice and have that confidence.
There is no true utopia of education, but there shouldn't be stopping to making any attempts.
The empowered educational journey that is REP4 starts at our regional summits. These events took place at Alliance campuses nationwide this summer and were change catalysts for our learners. The summits are big first steps for our high school students as they use design thinking skills to create education innovations based on their experiences, empowering them as architects of their future. It's a big first step through this empowered educational journey.
We really need to address the problem of food for everyone, the little children, the elderly who need transportation to get from place to place. It's just a real big issue that needs to be addressed as a whole.
The stigma of tutoring students have prevent them from performing well academically.
It's a mobile greenhouse where we go to people and teach them how to garden on their own in their own backyard.
We decided to attack this problem by making an app to solve most student problems that we struggle with in college.
As someone coming from a low-income district, I always knew that college was something that a lot of people did, but I wasn't sure if it was possible for me.
I've always known that there are issues or barriers when it comes to education, accessing it. REP4 has opened my eyes to the concept of actually doing something about those problems that I often hear about.
We don't do good in high school, and if we're only being really graded on tests and stuff, colleges really won't know our full experience with what we can do at their schools.
Creating Ideas for Change has changed my view of my education and things I could do, because I saw how far our project got last year and how y'all actually listen to our ideas and stuff. If you say something, things can actually happen.
It feels amazing to be able to have a key role in shaping the world around you. You can't just be out in the world and just complaining about all the things that you see if you're not actively trying to make a change for the better.
I think I was very focused on the student aspect, but there's so much going on on and they're always willing to learn and grow. Like even seeing REP4 take ideas from last year and bringing them in this year, it's so cool to see because it's like, wow, y'all are taking in these ideas, y'all are actually doing something, y'all are actually trying to change.
In any way, really, even if it's a small or big change, because any change is important.
I'm reflecting on my REP4 experience in the summer of 2023 and how it impacted my education journey. Back then, I felt the material for universities was black and white. In deeper detail, the years for students are planned ahead of time academically. The world is improving and so should we.
I'm a better leader, communicator, and future educator because of my experience.
It definitely kind of showed me a new light in terms of how voice matters and how much you can actually build change if you're given the opportunity to do so.
Personally, knowing our college/university sees our voice as inspiration means that I'm heard and that they understand that we're advocating for change.
Reflecting, I wish I could have told my past self to take full advantage of every moment. Open doors could present life-changing opportunities.
Reflecting, I wish I could have told my past self to never let anyone tell you that you can't aim higher and achieve higher because you are in charge of your own future.
After being in the REP4 and T4 Scholar, that 10th grade girl realized she wasn't judged by her test scores. She wasn't judged by her poor background. She was judged by her willingness to learn.
Looking ahead, this experience will continue to affect my education by strengthening my ambition to become successful.
This experience will continue to affect my education by allowing me to dream big while providing me with the foundations that I need to eventually achieve those big goals. It's a source of inspiration and a reminder of my resilience.
I know what I kind of want to do, but this brought me into it more and really showed me oh, I really want to do this.
Not just go to college and be done, but you can actually enjoy what you're doing and enjoy what you're learning.
To me, REP4 just means continue to grow, continue to always want to take and accept in knowledge.
It was just able to work together as a team for something that was bigger than most of us, where we are in life, and it was really nice.
It's definitely given me a more hopeful view of higher education.
REP4 student designers' ideas mark the start of their transformative journey. With over 10 prototypes activated and more in the works, concepts from past national convenings are now shaping innovative solutions. From mentoring networks to pathways to college admissions, semiconductor industry leadership, and addressing food insecurity, a wide range of creative prototypes are emerging within the REP4 Alliance. In this segment, you will learn more about prototypes in development across the Alliance and delve deeper into FinLit, one of those prototypes, to take a closer look into imagining and transforming these ideas into reality.
Our students wrote our values. We asked them, what is the college you want and what are the values that you have?
One of the first projects that SHIP adopted was that called Voce, or Student Voice.
We signed a partnership to advance the semiconductor industry. And what our REP4 Summit this summer did is we had students ask the question, how do we get young people who are coming up from high school excited about and interested in things like the semiconductor industry? One of our proposals from the students, one of these design changes, was an app that helped students find mentors in STEAM.
We had the opportunity to connect with the city council. They came and they listened to the students, and they have made a commitment this year to work with our students. They are going to convert an old train and find ways for Black farmers in the community, because they have been at a loss in the community, and they're going to connect with Fort Valley and our students.
Every single idea that those students talked about this past summer are still in the works. So I just want to say that this is working. REP4 is working.
As REP4 Summer Prototype led to a campus initiative called Fidgets versus Phones, and sharing recommendations for faculty to develop course practices.
Financial literacy has been on the minds of students. They're worried about the cost of college. They produced in a virtual domain a set of tarot cards which created personalities that they needed to be most aligned with. They needed to figure out what their money personality is.
Just really want to create a really new, fun, engaging way to get people more comfortable with their finances.
Today I'm here with my good friend, Wally.
And they felt that it was important before we even start to have a conversation about financial literacy that we understand our own money personality or our own way of dealing with money.
So we're starting out with a personality quiz and have the users take the quiz to find out how they view money.
It says, take this quiz to discover the animal that best aligns with your money.
Oh, your animal? I want to find out my animal.
It says, if I have extra income, I'd prefer to hold on to it rather than use it.
That's definitely me.
Based on that quiz, they'll be put in community groups that they can view in that community room.
Whoa.
It's really fun visually, and playing around in a virtual space, I think, is what this generation likes a lot.
I supervised a team of computer science students who are working with visual media arts students who are creative and understand user experience, user design. But also joining the mix was a accounting student with deeper knowledge in financial literacy.
It's been really engaging. It's something that I'm actually passionate about as an accounting major, to understand how personal finance is taught to others and can be expanded through a community.
Financially Lit was enriched by a psychology major who was thinking of it from the perspective of personas, by a designer who's thinking how do we best engage students. So I love the way the different disciplines were coming together, and they weren't leaving their discipline and going to some other space to learn. They were bringing their discipline to that project and that learning.
Part of our experience is really looking at what the appropriate form of technology would be for the idea.
One of the biggest things about this project is how future thinking it is. We want this to be 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead. What will that look like? A lot of research going into what does the future look like for education? What does the future look like for communicating? What does the future look like for technology? So all questions. We're all really interested in it, but it all ties into the project and the work that we're doing.
We're creating this new world, in a sense, that gives a lot of other people who weren't in the conversation a chance to talk.
The REP4 Alliance is a robust network encompassing diverse institutions, including historically Black, Hispanic serving, Asian American and Native American Pacific Islander serving, community colleges, research, systems, and regional partners. This year, the founding members marked a milestone with the inaugural Unified Day of Advocacy in Washington, D.C. REP4 also added new partners nationwide and is strategizing on reaching a wider audience. United in focus, the Alliance collaborates to steer learners through transformative journeys, offering expertise, testing prototypes, implementing ideas, and working together for meaningful change.
I know that we are at a true crossroads here when it comes to higher education. Each college and university president in this National Alliance has affirmed their shared vision, and today's meeting provides an important opportunity to discuss the most pressing issues facing higher education and students who are faced with a variety of challenges.
We represent over 200,000 learners as institutions, and we are wonderfully diverse. And it is through that diversity that we're going to learn faster how innovation seeds, how it scales, how it can be supported.
I think I've got a lot of good ideas, but if I'm designing for people who are 17 or 18, I may miss things that would be absolutely transformative for them.
Things are at a kind of precarious place in a variety of ways, and if we don't change, change will be foisted upon us. And I think that is something that we don't want to happen.
When you have students that attend an HBCU where 70% of the students are on financial aid, we sit in the middle of Georgia in a rural town. The issues that impact them are the issues that they live with every day.
We are that kind of a startup, but we're a startup with big ideas. Every founder, by the way, thinks they're going to be the next unicorn and change the world. We believe that too.
Engaging students with their voices, for them participating in their own learning, that is giving them a sense of belonging. That is making them want to stay, to be connected.
Education is a national security issue, period. If we have an underdeveloped, undereducated population, then we are not going to be prepared for the challenges that we face as a nation.
This alliance of partners are asking themselves, their partners, staff, and students, both present and future, how can we make this place work for you? REP4 is saying, we succeed when you succeed. And that's a worthy disruption.
What our objective is a global movement. What our objective is scaling the tools and participation level. And what our objective is sustainability. And that's going to require a different level of support.
We need to learn from them, and that's why REP4 is so critical right now. Because if we're not asking them the questions, we're not going to change and get better at serving who they are right now, what they need.
It's empowering student voice for their own support, their own development, their own wonderful, incredible journey, and to help us with our own institutional transformation.
We often pit universities against each other. People talk about the demographic cliff and there aren't going to be any students. And instead we should be changing what we think about who merits access to a college education. And if we're working together to think about how we differently serve students, then we actually change the future of higher education. That really is the kind of transformation that will change the world.
You can never create a model for others that isn't you, right? We have to be the model.
Too often we do this work in isolation. By being part of this network of learners, we are creating a much stronger approach and we'll see much greater results.
We're going through a paradigm shift that we haven't seen for 150 years, and that is from an industrial model to a knowledge economy. It's part of the reason why engaging with our learners from all backgrounds is so incredibly important.
If you really give someone an opportunity to express themselves and set them up for success, they'll thrive, and that happened for me.
Knowing our college sees our voices as inspiration means we, the students, have the potential to change the future.
I am totally in charge of how I want to change my future and the way that I learn.
I'm a part of the university as much as the university is a part of me.
We're taking the hard path of transforming organizations and enabling others to see what we have of value that we can contribute.
We help to partner with organizations across the country to talk about the entrepreneurial mindset and how important it is in the world of work. REP4 gave us an opportunity to come together as practitioners to understand how we need to be challenged innovatively to create new solutions.
We believe in using power to share power, and I think that's a huge foundational aspect of REP4 is seeing these presidents coming together and using the power and influence that they have to share power with students to be part of the solution.
Very privileged spot that we get to sit in, kind of little birds on a wire looking across at all the things that are happening and innovating and all this stuff. You're doing it and not just talking about it,
my table treated me as a colleague and not just someone that didn't understand what they were talking about, and they were open to hear my questions and really included me in the process.
We were allowing ourselves to embrace any type of idea on the idea that we're all intentional and we have passion around it.
And if we're going to support students, we must know what their lived experiences are, how they learn, how they live. Not every student that comes through those doors are the same.
And to me, innovative is not just always about something new. It is about your ability to configure existing elements in novel ways.
To meet so many amazing people working to support our students to recreate the future of higher education and to really make sure it's higher education for all has been amazing.
All we have to do is open our hearts to their voice and have courage to take action.
The students, the faculty, the staff, who are all focused on one goal, one primary goal, which is to ensure that we are making education accessible and possible and meaningful and fulfilling for our students.
There is no true utopia of education, but there shouldn't be stopping to making any attempts. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Rapid education prototyping empowers learners to reshape education. Since 2021, REP4 programs have involved more than 850 learners, providing many with an introduction to higher education that they might not have experienced otherwise. Please visit rep4.org and sign up to stay connected and upvote early on a list of top 2023 pitches. You have the power to shape the future of higher education. So what will you rep for?